Hey, yo, what up? I was making this video about if you saw it in the actual title of the video. I'm gonna give a little background. So on Nipsey Hussle's the Victory Lap album, he was saying he a genius, but he can't claim it. So now, when I heard that, the album is a very dope album. I got it after he had passed. I knew of him a long time, maybe like maybe about 8 to 10 years ago. I knew about his music, but I was just like things kind of happened, transpired, and I kind of I grew in other ways. So when I knew when I heard about the way how he passed or whatever, I was like. Um, I was, I was upset behind it. I was like, I didn't understand it, but I fully understand. So I made this video about how in his rhymes he was saying he a genius, but he can't claim it. Nipsey Hussle said he's a genius, but he can't claim it. Okay, I remember watching on YouTube the footage of his brother, Black Sam. He was saying how he was a very smart individual, intellectual individual. Um, you know, he had parts to a computer and got all those parts and put it together and made the computer work. As a youth, as a child, as a youngin, and that speaks volumes. As a youth, this is what capabilities bring to you when you have access in your mind to make these things happen. So I'm gonna say the rhyme again. He a genius, but he can't claim it. So now why can't he claim it? So when he said he's actually of course talking about himself, but he's putting. I looked at it as a perspective piece, like if it's an art piece. I looked at it like from his point of view, knowing how the nature of our people when we in certain areas like the hood or whatever, and people our people frown upon people that are smart. You just trying to be a teacher's pet or shut your smart ass up or whatever. So in that sense of a term, like when he said he's a genius but he can't claim it, I'm looking at it as a whole. So all the smart girls and boys out there, boys and girls out there, teenagers, grown-ups out there. He a genius, but he can't claim it. Why? Why couldn't he claim it? That to me that was one of the saddest lines in the whole album. He a genius, but he can't claim. It's like at the beginning of the album, and towards the end of the album, I think he already knew knew what was gonna happen. But if you listen very closely, so I'm getting back to he a genius, but he can't claim it. All right, I look at it like in our neighborhoods, we get people that's smart get or labeled as nerds or whatever, a bookworm, whatever you want to call it, different terms. So like they'll label you something, but you don't want to be looked at as that. So you want to I'm a bang or I'm gonna go sell drugs or whatever it is. But you use your intellectualism or your keen sense of ideas um, for something that you really is really past you, but you can do that. I'm not saying it's beneath you. I'm saying you can have other things on your plate to where um, no one can touch you. It's your like just straight up your ideas, and no one can throw you in jail behind it or anything. You're just using your ideas. So when we have people like that in our community or in our neighborhood, well, we don't have communities anymore. We just have areas where we all live in because nobody really talks to each other and people just do what they do. So yeah, it's just something. It was getting at me to bring this topic up. So I know and not believe, but I know that line rings true because when we have geniuses and child prodigies, shout out to Prodigy, peace, rise in power, Nipsey Hussle. We have child prodigies and they see how people really get down and they know what they're capable of And it's almost like they're short stopping themselves, and they get into that life or a certain life to where you can really get put in some dangerous situations or hurt, and now you weighing it out. You're weighing it out in the scale. Should I really do this? Or like I'm smart, I can get away with it. But sometimes that might not be meant for you to do that, but you want to take that chance. But why not make the availability for those ones that might be teased for being smart? Because like as you know, he was in Crenshaw, neighborhood 60s, you know. So, but he applied his intelligentsia or his mental capacity to bring in revenue, to help bring in revenue um, throughout his while he was in his life of banging for the neighborhood 60s. So when he's doing that, like I remember a line from Tupac on all Me Against the World. He said you can be a lawyer instead of being a pimp. You can be an accountant instead of selling dope. I mean, like that was at the end of the song. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. And like hearing Nipsey say he a genius, but he can't claim it. And you got someone telling you years prior, was it 95? And what is it, 2020 now? So 2018, when we last, oh, no, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I don't want to get the date wrong, but 2019 when we lost Nipsey Hussle in the physical form, because they're always going to be with if you play their music or have memories. It's just playing back like film, So, but yeah, so I don't want to lose where I'm at. So I know I'm at. So when Tupac said that, um, you can do this instead of doing that, but like because that is withholding you from actually doing what you are fully capable of, and you can have more reach and more power and more accessibility. I mean, don't get me wrong, the people in gangs, they have a lot of reach because these are like ant mounds in different cities and different states, so it's like different ant mounds. So you touch one, you go to the next city, they might have reach like that and reach across the country. So not discounting the capabilities or the power that could be associated with being in a gang. But I'm saying like not having police down your throat, not having you being able having to go to in the court, holding you up and slowing you down from your genius, from whatever you do. It could be a multitude of multiplicity or numerous things you can do, but when you just doing one thing over and over, sometimes it sometimes it makes you who you are. So we should stop that. I'm gonna say this, like I don't like that. That shit, like it really struck a nerve, it struck a chord with me, man. And like because children don't want to be looked at as weak, or young youth don't want to be looked at as weak, or oh, he's nerdy or she's nerdy or whatever. They ain't about that life. What life? What life? We think about this. The clothes and everything we do. We put our spin on it, our style on it, but this shit is like something totally different. It's like we like our ancestors said in thrice great Hermes or Hermetica. They were saying they're gonna come a time when you're gonna have people that resemble or are Egyptian looking people, or Egyptian people will have the mind of someone else. They were talking about of their oppressor, like, or not. I ain't just gonna say oppressor, like they're holding them down. I would say the opposite of them, like a white person or Arabic person. Not. I'm saying we have people in these sectors that either mix or whatever. But I'm saying like we damn near have the mind of someone else that don't have um, the best for us. So we look like that. That's why if you look, I'll give a lot of examples because I want you to hear and feel where I'm coming from. So if you look at the movies, the movie Avengers, Infinity War with Thanos, and I brought this up in another video previous past, but it was very telling. So I'm like, if I'm at work or whatever, and they hire a manager that looks like me, but they tell him everything he needs to do or whatever, and to keep his job or whatever, and you're like the middle person or middleman, like for the speaking box for the people that's the overhead. So they said they're gonna, like in the Infinity War, they use people. They're gonna use something that Thanos is made of in order to kill him. So the people that look like you or not, they won't. They most of the time will not have your best intentions. I've noticed that a lot. They do not have your best intentions. They're looking to get over on you big time. I mean, that's really terrible. Like, but look where we get it from. We get it from the best to do it. Like the rhyme Prodigy said. He said, plan to overthrow your whole shit while shaking your hand. He said, we take land like white man, plan to overtake your whole shit with shaking your hand. That's a very telling line. So we don't have, we might have a look of what another person, or what the person that we look like, that have the wrong intentions for us, but their mind will be of another person, and that's gonna be filled with hate more than likely. So if, like he said, like Nipsey said, he a genius, but he can't claim it. Of course, he ain't gonna be able to claim it because everybody around him is pulling away, pulling at him and pulling at her or whatever, because they like, man, I don't like this. You gonna have it this way. This is not what we used to. That smart shit that smart shit ain't what we used to and shit. So I'm like, man, so like think about it like this, the dot in the circle and the dot, like the 12 months, but you supposed to be like all zodiac, 12 zodiacs. You supposed to be like all the zodiacs. 12 disciples in one savior. You supposed to be all 12, and you were your own savior. So I say that all to say this: if you're the dot in the middle, push those people away and and enhance your genius. Enhance your genius. So we never know. But to think about, I always think about that line. Sometimes he say that. He said he a genius, but he can't claim it, right? I say it so many times in the video. If we think about it, what if he would have went down another path to do something else with computers or whatever it might have been? It could have been a multiple things, but like his brother said, that he put a computer together as a youth, and so that's, I'm like, what if he could have been something in that along those lines, but he was able to reach people through his music. Through his music, he was able to reach people. So when he was able to reach people, it's a gift and a curse, because when you sign those deals with those labels, they have an expiration date for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying this as a summarization for the rest of this video. I mean, anytime I get to listen to that album, and when I hear that part, I'm like, damn, I don't ever want to. If I'm around any youth or any people my age or older, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not the person that's like, oh, do this and don't do that. No, I'll be like, I'll tell them survive. You know what I'm saying? Just survive. If you surviving, you gonna be all right. So like the people that's like, if I see something in a person, and they have a keen awareness of it, that's very like they very intelligent. They do something and it stands out. Why talk shit about it or make them feel like they ain't shit by being what they are? So I'll be like, man, I like that what you doing, man. And you encourage that. I that's why I told myself. I said I try to encourage people. Like, instead of, we do that so much, we pull each other down. You know, we pull each other down so much. But it's gonna come a time when a lot of those people that ain't spiritually aware, they're gonna be up out of here. You know what I mean? They burning up. Not even just, I mean, white people, of course, they're gonna be out here, but they're gonna be in multitude, a lot in the long run, in the later. A lot of our melanated, highly melanated people, so-called black people, so-called African American people, gonna be out of here because all those preachers done told them to we into what do you call it, when they preach about having money and success and all of those things and bringing those things to you. That's not what it's about. But the thing is with me, like if I see something in one of our people, I'll bring it to the light and it make them feel like, man, if somebody outside myself saw I'm outside the circle of your life, you were your own, you're the dot inside the circle. That means your um you control your universe pretty much and act like a dot and like an atom in the circle around it. So if I see something, why not help or not help, but um make their light brighter by them paying attention to that light more. All right, so I just wanted to make that video about that. You know, it just I've been the last few days or a few weeks, I've been really like something been telling me to make this video about it. So, you know, if you ever get to listen to the Victory Lap album, he says he's a genius, but he can't claim it. So we must look into ourselves. Not even like you ain't got to do what I'm doing. Like I'm out, I don't just like do it all the time on purpose. Like if I'm around somebody, I'll say something. But like you don't got to do that. All you do is work on your own genius. That's it. Like that's what's and somebody gonna see it through you. Everybody got their own type of genius, but like it's just gotta find it in you. That's it. But yeah, so shout out to Nipsey Hussle, Rise in Power, man. Did a great great work because I'm gonna just say this before I get ready to go. I'm not trying to take no time and shit. I'm not on no soapbox. But think about this. It's a line he had on that album too. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, he doubled back in blue laces. You know, I'm like when he said he doubled back in blue laces, he already saw this. So people that knew him as a youngin, real young person, they would say like he was very like because his parent, his if you hear his mother talk, his parents, yeah, I'm not sure what they went through or whatever, but when he's going through those things, and he said he doubled back in blue laces, like he said he already seen what he needed to do, but he was like, you know, I can pull my people with me, but like the thing is we not it's not gonna be a multitude of people because the masses just die. If you get in a group, somebody gonna tell they're gonna get weak. Somebody give them money, your whole shit over with. So what he did, what I feel like what he did, and I be debating with myself all the time when he was talking about the Dr. Sabi thing uh, and he was doing the marching like the whole the whole the fuck the president thing he did with YG and created like this whole thing with the FBI was flying in helicopters around him and shit. They had a whole big march and whatnot in a video shoot. So I'm like, he had a lot of power. But I was looking at it. He doubled back in blue laces. I feel like he's pulling the ones, the real light bringers, pull them to the forefront and attracting them to him and his music. And like when you're eating better, I'm not saying you're supposed to eat vegetarian or whatever. You're not supposed. I don't have no title, whatever. So you can eat whatever you want, but when I notice one thing, when people become vegetarian and eat different foods from what they used to, they start seeing things different. And when they see things different, a lot more things become more accessible to them. They start pulling more things that they wasn't used to around them, and that makes you more accessible to more things. And that means there's no limit because you open to something. But then I stopped doing it after a year and a half and went back to eating how I wanted to. So I eat like maybe 90% fruits and vegetables, and like whatever I mainly eat like fish or whatever. That's what it is: fish and some turkey, lamb, and sometimes chicken, and that's it. But like mainly vegetables or whatever, rice and beans. So like when I be like thinking about that, for those people that wasn't at that level yet and heard his music and they hear about Dr. Sabi, he probably did more than likely. I feel like he did a work to actually pull those people that's gonna really use that information he gave out, and they're gonna propel them to higher heights in their thinking, in their consciousness, and what they can do with their consciousness. All right, but yeah, I made a 2 for 1. So it was really supposed to have been about the genius, but he can't claim it. So, but as another line that was just it came to me. So I said I was walking at work. I was talking to Nipsey in my mind. I said, hey, give me what you want me to say, cause I didn't have it all the way in my head. So I'm doing it off no notes or anything. So I told him, I said, give me the things and how I need to say it, and show me so I can make it make sense to like the person that don't be into this. It'll make total complete sense, and maybe those people can have some make some waves around the people that are actually genius. They can see it around them. All right, peace. Nigga, negus, inger, and naga, and nigga. Peace, my nigga. Peace.